Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're turning through Batman Knight. Taking a look at the last six concepts on Gotham City stories that we need to finish. This is part 2 to that, so let's start with Flat Rat. Pyrophobia, fear of fire. Some fears make more sense than others. Alex thought, crunching his eyes shut against the flames and retreating to the furthest corner of the cell. He read a case study once. He was insane, but a man of pharmaphobia, fear of medicine. The poor man suffered from epileptic seizures, yet refused to take his pills. Madness, counterintuitive, misfiring self-preservation instinct, rejecting the very things that preserved. But fear of fire? That made evolutionary sense. Alex comforted himself, picturing humanity's ancestors scattering across the veldt as flames licked dry grass. He wasn't mad, he was just sensitive. His phobia was just awareness of the damage that the inferno raging in front of him could do to his delicate tissues, if it was real. Simon had summoned him. Alex remembered, accused him of betrayal, and now he was here, a test subject, meat for the grinder, brine matter for the thresher, and more data for Stag. They stopped pumping tungsten into his cell hours ago, but still the fires burned around him, a phantom wall of flames. They started closing in. Alex Turris screamed as the flames consumed him. Screams of terror, not pain. To an outside observer, the result was slapstick. A white-coat scientist failing at nothing, but all Alex could see was flames eating up his flesh, gnawing down to the bone. Revenant. Zach hated Mondays. Sorry. Oh, my voice. He had been working the early shift of the morgue for all 3 weeks. He was already starting to resemble a pallid corpse. The bourbon-induced hangover certainly wasn't helping. Some had been growling all morning in his house, and it was still an hour till lunch. His bowels was allergic to the thought of another plate of slop from the commissary. This was the time the company growl was deeper, more resonant from another place. He scanned the room for source. The stiffs sometimes released pockets of gas when they started to be composed, pungent gifts from the afterlife. But this sound was different, almost like a word trying to be formed, trapped by shuddering lips. It was coming from one new cold storage unit. These compartments weren't supposed to have locks, but this one had 4. They weren't usually this big either, and they certainly didn't have Wayne Tech branding. The door swung open, and plums of dry ice poured out around Zach's legs. As the lights flickered on, he could see the outline of a hulking corpse spread out on the floor. It was inhumanly large, and breathing. Bore, 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 bore. Zach slipped on the tiles and landed hard, sending his glass skidding across the room. Kneeling with his hands, he worked his way over the huge slabs of cold muscle of the wrist, as thick as the thigh. He wiped the frost of the plastic ID tag and strained to see the name Solomon Grundy. He liked the nursery rhyme. His body shifted, its giant lungs filled with ice-cold air. The voice was rough, brutally angry. Roaring on a Monday. Office romance. Mr. Oracle sighed as they watched a 3D model of an inconspicuous blood cell rotate on the back Pier's monitor. He's still showing no symptoms, Oracle asked as she delved deeper into the cell structure. The cell's walls were intact, plasma healthy and clear. Nothing, Tim replied. Oracle glanced over her shoulder. Tim was staring straight ahead, arms folded, the muscles in his jaws flexed. No smile today. Not today. No smile, not today. He was working hard. They both were. Gotham demanded everything of them, every day. Come on, Mr. Adams, Oracle asked, fighting off a wave of exhaustion. What are you hiding? The protein channels, maybe. Tim leant to a point at the image, where he drew his arm away. His hand grazed Barbara's neck. Barbara stopped typing, caught her breath. Tim went still. Then it drew itself out, each second marked by the clock tower's mechanical heartbeat. And then Tim turned away. We can't do this. Not again. Hematology never was your strong suit, huh, Drake? Barbara joked painfully, but Tim was already gone. She sat there wondering why he didn't come back, and why she didn't try to stop him. Like he must have hoped she would. But why make things harder when they had to be? Gotham came first. The job. It's the choice they made. They could turn their backs on each other, but not on that. Taking out the trash. Garbage collectors, as Pipes, sat in the gate's office, holding the stained second-hand uniform at arms. length, like a new pad in their first dirty diaper. You, completely sure about this, boss? We're sure, Dent growled across from the desk. Pipes didn't argue. It was nice. It was nice, Harvey speaking. You could tell, after a while, the way a group of school friends can tell their pair of identical twins among them apart. It's not about the voice, not always. It's about the face, which eye swings around faster to look at you, which side the mouth, the lantern jaw, with the charred, twisted lips. The smile played first. Plays across first. When you're front for the bank job, Dent said, and you owe us, all of you. The compensation claims our city have been corrupt as heck, sure, but pipe, said Rundens, with enough dirty cops to know that justice flowed one way in Gotham. Well, does if you haven't got the best lawyers in the Gotham the city ever saw running in your class action suit from behind the scenes. I get it, boss, I do, Pipe stammered. It's just ex-gate, waste disposal, and legal services? Really? Dent leaned forward. Pipes tried not to shudder as the weeping skin peeled from the leather chair. Trust me, Nice Harvey answered. Trust me, Nice Harvey answered. They're one in the same in this town. Showtime. 5 and 10, Vicky, her cameraman said. They had the steps to themselves. Huddles of reporter looked at her enviously over the police cordon. It was technicality, really, but as Marshall witnessed at Sharp's crimes, she'd given evidence at the courthouse that morning. She'd been impossible to get rid of after that. Showtime. Good evening, Gotham. I'm Vicky Vale. Behind me stands Solomon Wayne Courthouse, once part of ARKHAM City. Today, the venue in which former Mayor Quincy Sharp was acquitted of his participation in that conspiracy. I am vindicated, Sharp screamed, spurting out of the courthouse into a bombardment of camera flashes. It was Vicky he owned in on, despite his lawyer's protests. Pleased with the not guilty verdict, Quincy? Vale asked, her voice level, calm reporter tones. Oh, I'm guilty, Sharp spluttered, of maintaining order, punishing the guilty, weaning in this thankless city off its reliance on vigilante justice. What about funneling weapons to ARKHAM City? Vale asked, an edge to her voice now. Weapons like the rocket launcher that killed my helicopter pilot and friend? Unthinkable, Sharp said, which is precisely why I was acquitted on that, and all other charges. Your journalistic objectively has been compromised by trauma, Miss Vale. Are you sure, Quincy? Vale asked, handing him a sheet of paper. Because look like your signature on this requestion order. Sharp froze. The cameras kept flashing. She should have said it in court, but it was her scoop after all. And last but not least, scar tissue. Victor savored the familiar warmth of arterial blood splashing his face as he eased another of Penguin's lackeys into oblivion. He wiped the blade on the victim's biker jacket and searched his own forearm for a gleaming plot of flesh in amid the lattice work of scars and fresh incisions. It had been an eventful night, and the blood loss was starting to drain Victor's energy. He planned to liberate just a handful of Penguin and Two-Faced men, leave the bodies in plain sight, and send a message to Scarecrow, who seemed determined to exclude him from his plans. But when he tallied the first victim, felt the knife cold steel, Victor knew he wouldn't be able to satisfy until he felled a dozen more. Sirens bowed at the distance, and Zaz looked up to see the sky illuminated by the symbol of a bat. It seemed Scarecrow's Halloween festivities had already begun. Instinctively, Victor's fingers traced the smooth patch of skin he was saving, especially for Batman. Let the Scarecrow have his fun tonight, he thought. Batman would no doubt humiliate him and the others who followed in his farcical plans. Then Zaz would find him. That patch of skin wouldn't be smooth for long. There you go. That is all the Gotham City stories in this game. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao.